victory for freedom-loving people everywhere, Musab Hassan Youssef has been granted asylum in the United States. He's dubbed the Green Prince. Prince because he's the son of the founder of Hamas, and green because that's the color of their flag. He turned on Hamas years ago when, as an insider, he realized how deplorable the organization was and became a spy for Israel. For 10 years, he funneled information to the Israeli government and saved countless lives of both Palestinians and Israelis. Yay! It's funny because people wonder what brought about this big change in his life. Because once a Muslim has been radicalized and becomes a terrorist, it is nearly impossible to talk them out of it because it's an ideology. But other than reaching the children of Muslims with the message of peace, the only other time I have seen a radicalized Muslim terrorist change his ways is when they renounce the Allah of Islam and turn and worship the Jewish Jesus. Which I have to say, it boggles my mind how people come over and try to help Palestinians in the name of Christianity and then teach them to hate Jews. Are you people out of your mind? Do you really think you're going to get up to heaven and the God who named himself the God of Israel is going to be happy with you that you teach Palestinians to hate Jews? And I know, theologically there's a lot of people that believe the Jewish people are no longer chosen and whatever. But if the God of the universe cannot reconcile himself to one group of people, he surely cannot reconcile himself to a second group of people. It's kind of like asking a guy who's on his third wife for marital advice. But back to the Green Prince. This guy is incredible, and he is a testimony that there actually is hope out there for peace if we just go about it the right way. Now, America was denying him asylum, which was unbelievable, because that would make people who wanted to become informants against terrorists really scared to do so, because they would think, if I'm caught, I have nowhere to go to seek asylum. Luckily, congressmen, Israeli Knesset members, and even some undercover Mossad people came to the rescue, and he has been granted asylum. On the other spectrum of things, there have been 4 Hamas leaders released from prison. They've served out their sentence, and they were told they could stay in Jerusalem if they just renounced ties to Hamas and terrorism. Seems simple enough, but no. And if they didn't want to renounce ties to terrorism, they could go to the West Bank. We're so nice. Why do we do this? Oh, that's okay, Mr. Murderer. You can go back and be a part of the community again. So Abu Tir refused to renounce terrorism and Hamas, and so he had his permanent residency in Jerusalem revoked. He was then supposed to leave Jerusalem by June 30th, which he did not, and so he's arrested again. Bad habits are hard to break. And on the Jewish side of things, we've had some riots here by the ultra-Orthodox community. It's a long story, but the gist of it has to do with different sects of the Orthodox community not wanting to mingle together and not wanting their children to go to school together. So the Supreme Court ruled that they could not segregate in a public school, and the Orthodox community flipped out. They had thousands, if not tens of thousands, of rioters on the street because the Supreme Court said that the parents of the children would have to go to jail if they did not send their kids to these schools. First, I think it's dumb for any government to send parents to jail for not sending their kids to school. However, the more important issue here is the authority of the Supreme Court. Can a sect of society decide that they will not honor the ruling of the Supreme Court? This is not the first time it's happened, but the ultra-Orthodox community have a rabbinical court, which is somewhat recognized in this country, especially when it comes to marriages. But can you have a Supreme Court that is not recognized by everybody? Then it's not a Supreme Court. And anytime you have a nation whose laws are subject to the religious authority, things get spooky. Name one country that lives under Sharia law or any other religious law that has a flourishing society. But moving on to the trendy accusation of stolen land. Reports have it that Hezbollah is working with the drug cartels in Mexico to infiltrate America. That's fantastic. You see, because when radical Muslims practice certain tactics on Israel and they see internationally that it works, then they try it on other countries like America. Because arguably, radical Muslims hate America more than they hate Israel. It's just that we're closer to them. And when they see that they can make blanket accusations like Palestine was stolen by the Jews, and then everyone starts buying into it, then they're like, you know what? Texas was stolen by America. Give it back to Mexico. California. Did you see the footage of that teacher who was saying that California was stolen Mexico? It is in the benefit of Americans and all Western nations to defend the existence of Israel against radical Islam because we are only step one of the global mission.